Hello, everyone. So, thanks for tuning in. I think that if you trade Apple, you should really look at this. As a matter of fact, if you trade anything, you should look at this. Anything in the equities market. I mean, Apple. Well, there's a tug of war going on now between whether Apple or Microsoft is the biggest stock, but regardless, Apple is important to watch. Now, in the trading world, the successful traders understand how to find levels that are important. Some price levels are more important than others. I can't say it enough. I mean, I say it all the time, but it's true. If you're a trader, what do? You look for the price levels. It should never get old. If you're a mechanic, what do you do every day? You work on cars or engines, whatever you're working on. You don't go like paint a house one day. Well, a mechanic's job is to work on an engine, and a trader's job is to find the price levels. Now, check this out. You don't need to be a former hedge fund trader. I mean, it's like, damn, man, former hedge fund traders are a dime a dozen these days. And I say that it was someone who actually was a former hedge fund trader. But anyway, look at this. So Apple goes into this massive sell off. It went from about 200 to about 180 in a matter of, I don't know, call it maybe 2 weeks. And it found support here. It stopped going lower. Support means that it stops going down because there's enough buyers out there to take in all the supply. So the sellers don't need to panic and push it lower anymore. Now, why is there support at this price level here? Check this out. You don't need to be a former hedge fund trader. I should call you all non-former hedge fund traders. So even well, I don't want to say it like that. A non-former hedge fund trader, you're going to see, wow, amazing. Back in October, this particular price level happened to be resistance. And then the stock goes down, it goes up, and then it goes into the self and it finds this level again and it becomes support. How does this happen? How is a company that's worth almost $3 trillion have these precise levels in the trading of its stock? Well, let me explain. There are people who sold here and the price goes lower, and a lot of them are like, oh, yeah, this is great. This is easy. I'm the next great hedge fund manager. But then the price goes higher, and a lot of them say, wow, I made a mistake. If it ever gets back to the price level I sold it at, I'm going to buy it back. So I can kind of erase the mistake I have in my head. Goes into a sell off, goes into this free fall. Oh, wow, look at that. It's back to my level. I'm going to buy it back. So if you have enough remorseful sellers placing buy orders at the level that had been resistance, it becomes support. Now, if you don't believe me, but you should, because you can see it on pretty much any chart, so you can prove it to yourself. And that's what I teach. I teach people, I want to teach people how to figure out stuff on themselves, as opposed to just throwing out trading recommendations here and there. Anyway, look here. This level that was resistance became support. It's the same phenomena. Resistance becomes support. Resistance becomes support. Now, here that brings us to today. So once again, we've fallen to support. What do things do when they get to support? Well, they tend, I can't say because it's not a guarantee, but they tend to either rally or break down. It's a very, very rare when they stay at that support level for an extended period of time. Now, why is that? Let's think about it. A support level is a large concentration of traders and investors who want to buy. So sometimes they see the price coming lower and they say it got to the support level. So there's people who want to buy around here. And then when it gets to this former support level, some of them notice, like, gee, there's other buyers coming into the market. I better increase the price I'm willing to pay because the sellers are going to go to whoever is willing to pay the highest price. So you get a bidding war, all right, and that forces up. Just like here, you get to support, you get a bidding war. It's as trading goes, in my opinion, trading around price levels and momentum is probably one of the better strategies or better styles. Most traders or most newer people tend to like totally overthink this stuff. It's like I tell people, it's like if you can understand investment psychology 101 And if you could understand economics 101, you could figure out how to trade. I don't want to make it sound like it's easy, but for most people, it's not because they focus on the wrong things. So now we've talked about how or why something could possibly rally off of support. All right. Now let's discuss next. Why is there support at a former support level? Well, there are people who sold here. This thing was collapsing, and they're just like, oh, I got to get out. The people that sold here sold it at the bottom. The thing reverses, and they tell themselves, I made a mistake. If it ever gets back to my level, I'm going to buy my shares back. So if you have enough remorseful sellers placing buy orders at the level that was support, it can convert from support. I'm sorry, it can, um, what was support can become support again. So that's why we have support at former support levels. Now, if it breaks down, meaning if the price trades below it, if the support breaks, which is trader talk, well, what does that tell us? That tells us that the traders and investors who created the support with their buy orders are out of the market, which means there's a large group of people that want to buy that have left. They've gone home or they've gone to do whatever they do. They're out of the way. So think about it. In any market, if there's a lot of sellers and all of a sudden the buyers start going home, the buyers are going to know that the buyers that remain are going to know that they could kind of control things. And they're going to say, well, the last trade was at 181. I'll buy your stock, but I'm only going to pay you 180. I don't see anyone else who's willing to pay a higher price. So the seller has no choice but to do that. And then that causes us to go into a downtrend. Anyway, just to recap, thanks everyone for tuning in. Very interesting action here in Apple as one of the biggest stocks in the market. Well, one of the top two. What goes on here is going to have a big influence in the broader markets. So check it out. Come back tomorrow because I'm going to be talking more about it, or check out the Benzinga Trading School, which I am the head of. And we go over stuff like this every day. And thanks, everyone. I will see you hopefully tomorrow.